Hi everyone, you're welcome to a new episode of Mental Ish. If it's your first time here, you're very much welcome. Please click on the subscribe button below to subscribe to this channel, and I can assure you you're in for a wonderful ride. And if you are returning, thank you for always keeping your girl down. I love being here, and clearly, you also love being here, and I do not take that for granted. Thank you so much, guys. Now, today's topic is going to be, well, it's always relatable like every other topic. I'm going to be talking about the topic aversion to shut up. Now, like someone I know always says, it's either you are currently going through something, or you are coming out of something, or you are about to go into something or experience something. Truth is, life comes with its ups and downs, right? There are the good experiences, the not so good experiences, the daunting experiences you won't even wish your worst enemy, right? Sometimes life just happens, and we're not going to deny the bruises that this leaves. Okay, sometimes we come out of these experiences and feel like, oh, I'm fine, like that just happened. But in all honesty, you're still walking around with the bruise of this experience. And not only the bruise of these experiences, you're also walking around with the baggage of this experience. And of course, we know how it is when you're carrying baggage, too many baggage. Now, that's kind of like, that's not even kind of, that slows you down, that slows down your pace. And of course, it's the same way mentally, it's the same way emotionally, right? When you have so much emotional baggage, mental baggage, you would not be able to function like you should. And of course, we all know how the journey for destiny is, journey for purpose. You need to be as clear-headed as much as you can be. You need to be in the right frame of mind. So that's the whole essence of this topic, is just to help you have a better approach to life's experiences, a better approach to the painful experiences in your life, a better approach to the daunting experiences in your life. So, which is why I named this topic shedding off a version of you, or a version that needs to be shed off. Personally, I feel like every pain I've gone through in life had to bring me face to face to a version of myself that I didn't know existed, or a version of myself that maybe I even knew existed. But I know that every experience had to bring me face to face to a version of myself. Some versions that I had to groom, some versions that I had to shed off, right? Now, the truth is, when you ask that what's going to be your response to certain events, certain occurrences, sometimes you're so certain, you're so sure of yourself, or you're so sure of how you're going to behave, or you're going to act, what you're going to do. Sometimes you could almost even vouch for yourself, right? Until you're met face to face with that experience, and then you're met with a version of yourself that seems so strange to you, and even you're like, I never knew I could do this, or I never knew I would respond this way, or you feel like, oh, I think I kind of let myself down. Now, enough of all the pity party and beating yourself and all of that. This is life, right? Experiences happen, or you go through life and you experience things for you to grow, right? So what you need to do is take a sit back, right? Look at yourself in retrospect, recognize those experiences, recognize those versions of yourself, and deal with it, right? Every experience I went through brought me face to face to a version of myself. For instance, the very innocent version of me had to meet the very trusting version of myself that got very trusting, and of course, I mean, experienced a lot of pain in the process, because I trusted those persons, I trusted those circumstances, right? Another example is a version of me that unknowingly relegated God to the back in pursuit of ambition at some point in my life. And then, of course, the list goes on, right? But I'm not saying I have it all under control 100% because, I mean, as I said, it's life, so you keep learning. It's a never ending cycle. Okay, however, one thing I know is that I recognize those patterns now. So if I catch myself slipping into those patterns, I am able to bring myself. When I find I'm slipping into those patterns, I'm able to catch myself real quick. And that's because I recognize that or those versions of myself, and I am shedding or choosing to shed those versions of myself, right? So that should be your own approach to life, right? It doesn't matter if you're saying, "Oh, I wish this did not happen. I wish, I wish this had happened this way. I wish." Enough of all the wishes already, right? And just face that version of yourself that needs to be shed off. Because the truth is, for the new era or for the next era, for the new phase that you'll be going through in life, you need to cut off some versions. You need to take off some of those baggage, right? And these versions of yourself would not allow you function properly in the new era. Your new era, your new phase, your new requires a more refined you, right? A more experienced you, right? It requires a more a smarter you, it requires a stronger you that would not fall like a house of cards when things seem to be shaky. It requires a stronger you, which is why it's important that you tell yourself going forward, for every bad experience I go through, I am going to recognize that version of myself. I am going to look at my response to these things and be quick to recognize versions of myself that I am not comfortable with and shed them off as soon as I can. The whole point is, I mean, I feel like in my adult years, one thing I'm beginning to realize is sometimes life throws you lemons, right? But you have to decide to make lemonade out of whatever lemon the life throws you. I mean, I feel like that is even the whole that's the whole message of this channel, right? Choosing to thrive in spite of whatever it is that life brings your way. So, whatever it is you've gone through, and you feel like you're disappointed in yourself, you feel like you did not show up like you would have expected yourself to show up, or you feel like if you had done things differently, you wouldn't have experienced this outcome. Fair, but enough of the pity party, like I said. Just shed off that version of yourself that needs to be shed. In fact, I feel like sometimes life brings those experiences, right? Because it wants you to meet those versions, right? Initially, when you're starting out into life, you're all innocent, you don't really know much, you've not really had much experiences, right? So, yeah, you're bound to go through one thing or another, right? But all of this was perfectly designed and orchestrated to launch you into who God has destined you to launch you into who God has destined you to be, to launch you into your very self, into yourself. Never forget that. Never forget that. In animals, invertebrate animals, they have this thing called molting or ecdysis, and what that means is shedding of old skin, and that happens during growth, right? So see this as your moment of molting. Humans don't molt, but you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, see this as your growth. One of those, see this as one of those hurdles or one of those experiences you had to go through for your growth, right? So everything that happened, yes, you were exposed to some negative experiences you wish you didn't ever have to experience, When the same vein, you were exposed to a version of yourself that needed to be discovered. And not only did that version need to be uncovered, that version either needed to be shed up or he needed to be groomed. And that's the thing. When you're shedding off a version of yourself that you do not like, in that same process, you are grooming a new version. You're growing a new version. You're grooming a better version of yourself. So you see, it works hand in hand. When you're shedding off some version, because you are picking up new habits, you're holding yourself to better standards, you're working in better standards, you're also grooming a newer version of yourself, a better version of yourself, a more refined version of yourself. So you see, it's all a developmental process for you, either way you choose to look at it. So, my viewers, this is my message for today. I want you to have a better outlook on life. This is what I want your outlook on life to be. Shedding up whatever old, wrong, bad, painful experiences you've been through. See it as you needed to uncover a version of yourself that needed to go or where you are going to, right? Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's topic. And as always, thank you for watching. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I hope this was helpful to you. I mean, it was helpful to me as well. And please like this video, of course, share this video, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. And I would see you in my next topic. And we're talking about something interesting as well, as always. Thank you so much. Have a great week ahead.